The man born Leonard Larry McKelvey was once a small-time drug dealer in South Carolina who got arrested multiple times before turning 18. Now, he's one of the most influential voices in hip-hop media with a net worth exceeding $10 million. This is the untold truth about Charlamagne Tha God. Growing up in Moncks Corner, South Carolina, Charlamagne's early life was marked by poverty and struggle. His nickname wasn't some random choice. It came from his street alias while selling drugs as a teenager. Charlamagne was inspired by King Charlemagne, and he added "Tha God" after studying the teachings of the 5% nation. By 16, he'd been arrested 3 times, with his third offense landing him in jail for 41 days. It was during this incarceration that his mother refused to bail him out, forcing him to reconsider his life choices. After release, he enrolled in night school and started looking for legitimate work. His radio career began as an intern at Z93 Jams in Charleston, where he worked for free, answering phones and doing whatever was needed to get his foot in the door. It was here he met Wendy Williams, a connection that would later propel his career forward. But success didn't come easy. He was fired from 4 different radio stations before finding stable ground. The turning point came when he joined Power 105.1 in New York and became part of The Breakfast Club in 2010, alongside DJ Envy and Angela Yee. What many don't know is that the show struggled initially, with executives considering cancellation. Charlamagne's controversial interview style, asking tough, sometimes uncomfortable questions that other hosts wouldn't dare, eventually became the show's signature appeal. His infamous interviews have created countless viral moments. He called Drake "Wheelchair Jimmy" to his face, questioned Kanye West's mental health, and pressed Birdman so intensely that it spawned the iconic "put some respect on my name" moment. These confrontations weren't just for shock value. Charlamagne believes in what he calls uncomfortably honest dialogue. Behind the provocative persona lies something few recognize. Charlamagne is an avid reader with a personal library exceeding 500 books. He's constantly studying psychology, history, and self-improvement. Despite never attending college, he's arguably more well-read than many university graduates. His business acumen extends far beyond radio. In 2020, he signed a deal with iHeartMedia to create the Black Effect podcast network, featuring shows centered on Black voices and experiences. The network quickly grew to over 30 shows, reaching millions of listeners. He also co-founded Tha God World LLC, a production company developing shows for Comedy Central and HBO. What's particularly remarkable is Charlamagne's evolution on mental health. Once contributing to the stigma around therapy in the Black community, he's now one of its most vocal advocates. His book, Shook One: Anxiety Playing Tricks on Me, details his struggles with PTSD and anxiety, opening up conversations many men, especially Black men, weren't having publicly. Few know about his philanthropic work in his hometown. He's donated hundreds of thousands to South Carolina State University, created scholarship programs, and regularly gives back to Moncks Corner. When COVID-19 hit, he quietly paid rent for dozens of families facing eviction. His relationship with politics has been equally complex. Despite his liberal-leaning audience, Charlamagne has criticized Democratic politicians just as harshly as Republicans. His 2020 interview with Joe Biden produced the controversial "You ain't black" comment that nearly derailed Biden's campaign among Black voters. Charlamagne's family life offers another contrast to his public image. Married to his high school sweetheart, Jessica Gadsden, since 2014, they have 4 daughters together. Despite his celebrity status, he's managed to keep his family largely out of the spotlight, a rarity in today's social media-driven world. His relationship with guests has created both enemies and surprising allies. After heavily criticizing Justin Bieber for using racial slurs, Charlamagne later became a friend and mentor to the pop star. Conversely, his once friendly relationship with Kanye West deteriorated after Charlamagne criticized West's support of Donald Trump. Beyond The Breakfast Club, he's expanded his media footprint with shows like Uncommon Sense on MTV2 and Hell of a Week on Comedy Central. He's also become a New York Times best-selling author 3 times over with books that blend memoir with cultural commentary. What's truly fascinating is how Charlamagne has managed to remain relevant in an industry where careers typically flame out quickly. The average radio personality's shelf life is around 7 years. Charlamagne has been at the top for over 15. His secret? Constant reinvention and an unwillingness to be placed in a box. In 2021, he launched the Mental Wealth Alliance, committing $10 million to provide free therapy and mental health resources to Black communities. This initiative aims to train 1,000 Black therapists and provide over 10,000 therapy sessions at no cost. Perhaps most surprising is Charlamagne's spiritual journey. Raised in a Jehovah's Witness household, he's explored various religious and philosophical traditions, from Islam to Buddhism. Today, he describes himself as deeply spiritual but not religious, often starting his day with meditation and prayer. As of 2025, Charlamagne's influence extends beyond media into technology investments, focusing on Black-owned startups. His portfolio includes investments in fintech, health tech, and education platforms aimed at closing the wealth gap. The man once arrested for selling crack cocaine now has the ear of politicians, celebrities, and millions of listeners daily. His story isn't just about media success. It's about transformation, resilience, and the power of reinvention. Love him or hate him, Charlamagne Tha God has undeniably changed the landscape of media, creating space for authentic, unfiltered conversations in a world that often prefers comfortable silence to uncomfortable truths.